The first thing that is usually talked about with any Mike Leach team is the air raid offense, but the success this team has had the last few years could be credited to the massive improvements they've made on defense. Our Alyssa Charleston has more from Pullman with the other side of the football.
We are well into game week #1 for the Washington State Cougars. Coming into this season, some questions about the offense, namely the QB battle, who was going to be taking most of the snaps to lead the air raid. But there wasn't any question about the depth of the offense. There were those questions on defense. A lot of young guys coming in, having to prove their talent, but they're improving so quickly throughout fall camp. Even the offensive coaches are noticing.
They got a chip on their shoulder, too. I think a lot of guys, you know how it is with the rankings and this and that, or whole teams like that, but I think they really do. You've seen some guys as leaders step up that if you'd asked me 18 months ago, would they be leaders, I'd say absolutely not. And so the maturity and the leadership has really picked up, I'd say, since August 3rd, but still athletic and hopefully still playing fast.
Yeah, I think I've always been a leader, leading by example, but something I was always been wanting to work on is being a more vocal leader, and I think I've been doing that, just advocating, the speed D and what we're all about, which is running to the ball, stripping the ball, creating turnovers, and just playing as a team.
Last season, the Coug defense scored 100 points off those turnovers to go along with 38 sacks. Both of those numbers led the Pac-12. They're confident in the returners on the D-line and the linebacking core this year. It's that last line of defense that has the most to prove.
I expect big things from the front, and we should play well in the front, and then we'll just have to see what we can do in the secondary, how that all plays out. But I am excited to see him play, and hopefully here by the time we get to the conference game, we'll have our identity of what we're going to be.
This year, more than seasons past, we're starting to see the recruiting really come into play on that defense. When you look at the depth chart, a lot of young guys on the roster might be making the start on Saturday. They won't be tested too much against the New Mexico State Aggies, who won one FBS game last year, but it'll be interesting to see how they progress and gel throughout the rest of the season. For now, reporting from Pullman with the Cougs, Alyssa Charleston, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Alyssa. The Cougars in New Mexico State. That's Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You can always listen live on 920 KXOY. Derek Dice will get our coverage started at 5.